Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at China, specifically their energy storage sector.
Okay.
It's been, booming's a good word, I guess.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about here is batteries.
Right.
Batteries big enough to power a small city for hours.
Wow.
So yeah, really interesting stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds like it.
We're basing this deep dive on an article from PV magazine.
Okay.
And for anyone who isn't familiar, it's a leading publication in the solar industry.
Okay. Yeah.
So they know their stuff. And this article, it details some really big moves by this company, owerChina.
owerChina. I've heard of them.
Yeah. They're a huge state-owned company in China.
Right.
And they're making some serious waves in the energy world.
So what have they been up to?
Well, they've issued this thing called a tender. It's basically a request for like proposals from companies that can provide a lot of battery storage.
Okay. So they're looking to buy big on batteries. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, a lot.
Like how much are we talking?
We're talking 16 gigawatt hours of capacity. 16.
Wow. That's massive.
That's the largest energy storage project ever in China.
It's got to be up there globally too, right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely puts them leagues ahead of most other countries in terms of investment.
Wow. So 16 gigawatt hours, I mean, that sounds impressive. But for people like me who aren't, electrical engineers.
Yeah.
What does that actually translate to? Like, what can you actually do with that much energy storage?
So think of it this way.
Okay.
16 gigawatt hours. That's enough to power, like, roughly 1.6 million homes for a whole hour.
Okay, now that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you're talking like a decent-sized city just running on batteries for an hour.
Yeah.
Wild.
And so they put out this call for bids, right?
Yeah.
And according to the article, it was like super competitive. 76 different bidders all trying to get a piece of this.
Wow. 76. That's a lot of interest. What was the pricing like?
Yeah, so the bids range from $60 to $82 per kilowatt hour, with an average of $66 per kilowatt hour.
$66.33.
$66 per kilowatt hour. Okay, so what does that tell us?
Well, to me, I mean, that signals that the cost of this technology, this battery technology, it's dropping.
It is, and that fast.
Yeah, I mean, rapidly, like making large-scale energy storage more and more affordable.
So you're saying we're hitting a point where it's actually, like, viable to actually, like, store renewable energy on a scale that can, like, seriously make a difference.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's huge.
It's a game changer for sure.
Okay, so it sounds like they're not just looking for, like, the cheapest option here.
Yeah.
They're actually thinking strategically about this, like, long-term.
Yeah, and speaking of being strategic, they were really picky about the type of battery they wanted.
Picky? How so?
Well, the article specifically mentions lithium iron phosphate batteries.
LFPs.
Yeah, LFPs.
Yep.
Why do you think they went with that specific type?
Okay, so LFP batteries, well, they're known for a couple of things. Safety.
Okay.
And also how long they last.
Right.
So compared to some other battery chemistries, they're less likely to overheat, which is good.
Obviously.
Yeah. And they just have a longer lifespan.
Makes sense.
So by choosing LFPs, it seems like China's, prioritizing the reliability and the stability of their energy storage system.
Yeah. They're thinking long term for sure.
Yeah, like they're in it for the long haul. And they want to make sure these batteries are safe.
Yeah.
And that they can consistently provide that storage capacity as they, build up more and more renewable energy.
Right. It all ties together.
It does.
Yeah. So very interesting stuff. So it's really interesting to see China taking this like measured approach, this long-term view. And it's not just about the batteries themselves.
Right.
The article mentions that owerChina is also investing like a lot in other stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, like solar panels, wind turbines, all that renewable energy technology.
So it seems like they're like really going all in on this green energy thing. Yeah,
totally. It's not just like dipping their toes in the water.
Cool.
It's a full commitment to changing, how they get their energy. And this all ties back to, China's goal.
Yeah.
They want to be carbon neutral by 2060.
I remember that. Ambitious.
Oh, yeah, super ambitious.
Yeah.
But these investments, these huge investments, they're key to actually reaching that target.
It's got to be tough, though.
What?
Like integrating all of this new stuff, the batteries, the renewables,
Yeah.
into their existing energy grid.
Oh, right.
I mean, that's a whole other challenge, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I assume you can't just like plug it all in and hope for the best.
You would think so.
Yeah.
But it's more complex than that.
So what are they doing?
Well, these tender documents,
Mm-hmm.
they go beyond just like the physical stuff,
Okay.
the hardware.
Yeah.
They actually require these bidders to provide like the whole package.
Like what?
Like design, installation, maintenance, even like multi-tiered safety protocols.
Wow.
So it's about building a whole system,
Mm-hmm.
a whole ecosystem to actually support this change to renewable energy.
Yeah, I get it. And the article mentioned a 20-year maintenance contract.
Oh, wow.
Like they're really thinking about keeping this stuff running.
They are. It's smart. They're not just like throwing money at this.
Right.
They're making sure these projects actually work long term.
Yeah. And not just keeping the lights on, but keeping things safe too.
Exactly. Like with the whole grid moving to more and more renewable sources, safety and reliability are like paramount.
Got it. So it sounds like they're setting a pretty high bar for these companies.
Oh, yeah. In fact, the article highlighted that companies bidding on this, they need to have developed at least one of 4 like core technologies in-house.
Okay, like what?
So battery cells,
Okay.
power conversion systems, energy management systems, or battery management systems.
So like really specific advanced stuff.
Yeah. It's a clear sign that they're looking for partners who are like on the cutting edge of all this.
It's not just buying stuff off the shelf.
No, they're pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
Driving innovation.
Right. Which is, I mean, that's smart, right?
It is like they're using their money to encourage new technology, basically.
Yeah. So this whole owerChina tender, it's more than just like a big purchase order. It's like a statement about their commitment to this whole renewable energy thing.
Yeah.
And their ambition to like lead the way in this global energy shift.
I think you're right. It's a big move. Sends a message to everyone else.
Right. So China's making these huge investments.
Yeah.
But what does it actually mean for everyone else, like globally?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the biggest impacts is going to be on the cost of all this renewable energy tech.
Okay.
Like as China invests more, it creates economies of scale.
Right.
Which means prices come down for everyone.
You've seen that with solar panels already, right?
Exactly. And we can expect the same thing with batteries.
So this could actually speed up the transition to renewables.
It could for other countries too.
And make clean energy more accessible.
Yeah, more affordable.
That's good news.
It is. But there are also like geopolitical things to consider too.
Oh, right. Yeah. Like what?
Well, think about it. China's kind of dominating the manufacturing of all this stuff and the deployment of it.
So they've got a lot of power, basically.
They do. And that raises some questions, right?
Yeah.
About global energy security.
Okay.
And just the balance of power, really, in the coming decades.
It's a complicated situation for sure.
Yeah, it is. Lots of potential benefits.
Yeah.
But also challenges for everyone.
So for our listener, what's the big takeaway from all of this?
I think the biggest takeaway is that the whole energy landscape is shifting. Mm-hmm. And China is leading the charge.
Yeah.
And this isn't just, an environmental issue anymore.
Right.
It's economic and geopolitical too.
Very interesting stuff. It really is a lot to process. I mean, it's encouraging seeing China take action, like real action on climate change, putting their money where their mouth is, investing in all this renewable energy. But as you said, it makes you wonder how this will all play out globally.
Definitely. And it goes beyond just that, like governments and international stuff. This shift to clean energy, it's going to impact everyone, really.
Yeah, for sure. Businesses, industries, individuals. It's not just these big ideas like carbon neutrality. It's going to affect people's jobs, the things they buy, how we live our lives.
Exactly. Like, think about cars.
Okay.
The whole car industry is going to have to change.
With electric vehicles and all that?
Yeah. If countries move away from fossil fuels, there's going to be huge demand for EVs. And that means batteries too.
Right. Yeah.
So you're going to see new companies popping up, new jobs,
Yeah.
battery manufacturing, charging infrastructure, renewable energy. It's not just about the environment. It's a whole economic shift.
Yeah, I see that. And I guess with any big shift like this, there are going to be some who benefit and others who...
It's left behind, yes.
Some industries that rely on fossil fuels, they might struggle.
Yeah, adapting is going to be crucial.
But for those who embrace this new energy landscape,
they'll thrive. Definitely. But it's not going to be easy. This transition, it's going to take investment in infrastructure, research, development.
Yeah.
It's complicated, challenging.
But hopefully, ultimately worth it.
It has the potential to be. If we can build a more sustainable future, a more equitable future.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive. We started with just this one article about batteries in China, and now we're talking about the future of energy, the global economy. It's amazing how these things connect.
It is. Like, you zoom in on one thing and suddenly you see these huge trends, these forces shaping the whole world.
Yeah, exactly. And for everyone listening, I think the key takeaway is this. This isn't just some far-off thing happening in China. This energy transition, it's global. It's going to affect everyone. And it's happening right now.
I agree. And as things change, it's going to be important to stay informed. Think about the choices we make as individuals, as businesses, as a society.
So on that note, we'll leave you with this. As the world of energy changes, what role will you play in building that more sustainable future? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those tough questions.